Okay. I'm just guessing on how to get the crap out of here, because it can multitask to a certain extent, but we're not in the technology where you can like have GPS and camera going. Oh wow, you can kind of see C605. Here's a motorcyclist. We're gonna follow this guy. He's gonna lead us out right here. No, maybe not. Alright, there he goes. Let's see, he went down that way. So, I don't know. I'm assuming that other car went down this way. So there's a car behind me right there. There's a cop up somewhere around this way. But I'm just going to put this right here. I'll probably just think I'm using GPS maybe. Ah, wow. Which way do I go? So I can go this way, or I can try this way. But I don't remember the school bus. I'm going to go to the left. The school bus is that way. I got a friend that lives out here in Johnson County. He held my cat for a while until Romeo died. I had Romeo for since 2005. 2005, and then I think it was 2000 and well, my second wife wouldn't accept him, so we couldn't have him. But my mother-in-law held him for about 6 years, I guess, maybe 5 years from the wedding on. So I think it would be Romeo. Let's see, he was somewhere out here in one of these houses way out here. This guy named Gary held him for a while. I think that's kind of where I'm headed. I don't know for sure, but I'm probably gonna turn around. Yeah, this looks familiar. But anyway, Romeo, I had him for about 6 years, and then I got rid of him. See, my first marriage, I got Romeo. I think Romeo was, let's see, from 2005 to about 2011 or 2012. And then I went to Maine, and Romeo and Mojo, his son, so Romeo's son, went with me to Maine. And then, so I had Romeo from 2005 to 2013, almost 10 years, about 8 years. And then I gave Romeo to my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law had him for 6 years so we could visit him. The kids, I have 3 kids, and so the kids would go visit Romeo. And finally, Romeo bit it at about, it was like last year. I dropped him off with a guy named Gary, and he got real fat. He had diabetes or something. He got fat. Sometimes they have irritable bowel syndrome. So cats, it's really bad for cats. So the irritable bowel syndrome probably killed him. He wouldn't get enough nutrition. Gary said he just climbed up in bed with him and just died. And that happened, I think, last year. So I had him for more than 10 years. I had him for about 12 years, 12 to 13 years. And then he passed away. And then Mojo was sent up to Maine. Like, I knew Mojo probably wasn't going to make it. So when I got married in 2013, I had to get rid of both cats, Mojo and Romeo, and then I had 3 kids. So Mojo went up to Maine eventually. He stayed with Gary for a little bit, a few days, and then my mom took him up to Maine. He got bit by like a squirrel or some kind of animal. My mom said, oh, there's some llama over there. My mom said it was probably a raccoon or something bit him. Some kind of animal, not a squirrel, or maybe it wasn't a rabbit. I don't think a rabbit's I don't think it would have been a rabbit, or it would have not a squirrel. It'd have been something like that. I think it was, if it wasn't a squirrel, it was it was probably, I think it was, she told me what it might be. I think it was, I'm going to try going this way. Let's see what this one. This is like a major farm road right here. This will lead me. Gary's somewhere in this area. Oh, shit. What's that saying? Oh, it's just giving me like a little thingy. Okay, so, anyway, Romeo ended up dying, but Mojo went up to Maine, and I think Mojo, he was a black cat with a little white spot. I had him for about the same amount of time. But like I said, I had to get rid of all of them in 2013, so I could only visit them. But Mojo didn't live but like 3 or 4 years after that. And I think he got hit. He got attacked by a beaver. I don't know if it was a beaver or a squirrel. It was either a squirrel or a beaver. No, it wasn't a beaver. I doubt it was a squirrel. It could have been. Squirrels sometimes will attack. I think it was probably something like that. It was a vermin. It was a vermin. Did I say a vermin? It was a vermin. A vermin of some type. Some type of vermin bit Mojo. And it got infected, and it poisoned his blood or whatever, and it just kept coming back, and he died. There's some goats right down that way. He ended up dying. I think it was, I'm trying to think of the exact animal that would have bit him. I used to know. I don't think it was a coyote. It could, I don't know if it was a skunk, a raccoon. Yeah, it might have been a raccoon. The raccoon could have done it. They're pretty fierce at times. I don't think it was a rat. That's a vermin, but it was probably like a raccoon or something like that bit him, and he got infected. He died. So Mojo died. So Romeo outlasted almost his whole family. I don't know where Sugar is. Sugar was his wife for a while. He met Sugar and Crowley. He had like 20 He had 20 offspring, 20 or 30 different cats. I saw him sitting there and doing it. He mated with any cat, like any female cat. He was a stud cat. His original name was Rowdy, and I changed it to Romeo. He was a black and white domestic. But Sarah and I had at one time 20 cats. We had to get a lot. We had to get rid of them, like the Humane Society, and to no-kill shelters. Some of them we just had to give to the Humane Society. It was too many cats. We kept Romeo, Mojo, and a Squeak, just a smaller cat. And then we had another one called Itzy, which is a Tonkinese. That one got traded off to some veterinary nurse. Squeak didn't make it. Irritable bowel syndrome killed Squeak. It was feline irritable bowel syndrome. So FIBS, female irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah, it killed Squeak pretty bad. It messed him up pretty bad. And then so basically, that's that. You know, those cats are gone. But somewhere out here, Mojo had his last breath, and Gary, watched him for a while. It was probably irritable bowel syndrome. There's some kind of bird or something up there. I think it was irritable bowel syndrome that probably killed them, because what happens, it robs them of their nutrition. There's another biker right here. He's probably just taking a break. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of get some of that footage. And then I'm headed out of this area right here.